What's up, YouTube? I'm finally back. I'm going to try to make some vlogs again for this car and chronicle my progress as I put it back together. And as you can see, she is still very much in pieces. So I originally took this car off the road because it needed a lot of work. And I'm slowly going to get there. I think last time I made a vlog, I showed you guys the spider gears had shit themselves in the Yukon posi, and I was rebuilding that. Well, fast forward, it's already back together. I put new spiders in it, packed it full of shims, and got it pretty much as tight as I possibly could have without the spider gears feeling notchy or harsh. So after that, I just shoved the spring plates back in, which totally sucks to do, as I found out. Put new bearings on the carrier, new bearings and races for the pinion, and got the ring gear on, and sort of just dropped the whole thing in here. I'm getting ready to run a contact pattern, but first I got to torque all the ring gear bolts, which is why I have an axle in one end. I'm going to see if I can get a pry bar on the end, and just kind of press it against my little workmate while I torque it, because I'm only one guy working alone. So hopefully I can get that done later today. Once that's done, there is a whole lot of work that needs to be addressed. So after I'm done with the diff, I got to do the whole rear suspension, brakes, whole disc brake conversion, ABS delete. Got to do the engine and the exhaust. I have a new set of headers that have to be painted, which is going to be an endeavor. I got to fix the X-pipe. I might put new mufflers on it because the car is really quiet. You can hear it on the inside, but from the outside it's like, sounds like a Camry. Like, you can barely tell. There's like a little bit of a low burble, but you really, volume wise, it's really not as loud as I'd want it to be. Got to do the front suspension too, got to fix the whole steering, and then I'm going to try my hand at body bushings, and then do the tune, put the fluids in, and then yeah, drive it. This is pretty much the bare minimum of what I have to do to get the car drivable again and inspectable. I think the inspection's out and the car is in pretty bad shape. So hopefully I can get that done. I mean, now I'm off. I have 3 weeks to work on this thing, and then beyond that I only really have a little bit of school left until I graduate, so I actually have real time now to work on this thing and put it back together. Alright, so the ring gear bolts are in, torqued to 65 foot-pounds, and with red Loctite on them. And I guess the posi's so tight that I was able to use a pry bar on one end, and that was it. Didn't have to put both axles in, didn't have to block it at the carrier or anything, so works out for me. My piece of crap magnetic base from Harbor Freight is stuck on for whatever reason. I can't turn the knob unless I smash it, and I'm missing another piece to it. I don't know where it went. I don't know why or what I was using it for. So I tried the clamp on one, this guy, and I got a decent reading out of it. I got .006 or .007. I hit it with the mallet. Didn't really change much, which is good, which means that I think I have the correct amount of shims. I had to pack a crap load of shims into there rather than using the two big ones because I just couldn't seem to get the right denomination of what I wanted. It wasn't tight enough. So I think I'm going to run the Harbor Freight and try to get a better base and give it a go again. Hit it with the mallet. Then I'll torque the caps down and I'll see if it changes at all. I might pick up a dead blow while I'm there too, because I don't know where mine went, disappeared. But so far so good. got a new base for my dial indicator, and I'm just going to do a quick measure of backlash. I tried to set it up as, I guess, as tangential as I possibly could have gotten it. That's what you want to do with the dial. It's not actually touching the tooth, it's just a hair above it. But as you can see, got about 7 thousandths, which that's pretty good. I think that's right on the money. The ring gear is marked from Motive, I think, with like a recommended backlash. It says .006, so 7's right in there. I think any tighter than 6 is probably way too tight. But I'm gonna torque up those bearing caps right here, and then I'm gonna see if it stays the same. I think I have as many shims packed in there as possible. I'm gonna give it a whack with the dead blow, see if it changes at all. 5 and 2, still 7. Yep, still at 7, so I'm gonna torque it up. So I ran a quick contact pattern just to get a general idea of what my pinion depth was like, and so far I can tell you that it's definitely way too shallow, especially if you look at this side right here. You can see that it's too close to the tip of the tooth. It's nowhere near the root. What you're basically going for is you want the whole pattern to kind of be in the center of it, in the center from root to tip. So you can see it's definitely way too close to the top, and you want it to be a little more diffused as well. So I'm going to add some pinion shims to it and bring it up a little bit and then rerun it. Alright, so try number 2. I added 12 thousandths to the pinion. It's a little bit deeper than it was, and as you can see, the contact pattern looks a whole lot better. A lot more centered root to tip than it was. I think the pinion still needs to go a hair deeper, probably between 3 and 5 thousandths. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And then also the backlash decreased to 5.5, which is just out of range. The spec is 6 on the low end for an 8.5 10 volt, which means I'm going to have to reshim, unfortunately. I was hoping I wouldn't have to, but yeah, it's whatever. Hopefully try number 3 will be it. Contact pattern got a whole lot better. It's a lot more diffused and in the center, which it should be. Looks a lot better than it did. I remeasured the backlash, and it looks like it's at about 7 now, which isn't bad. So I think I'm going to keep it. 3rd time's a charm.